Graffiti in Kiev and other cities of Ukraine reflect polls that indicate more than half of Ukrainians oppose NATO membership. Resistance is strong in the country's Russian-speaking eastern and southern regions. Elderly residents in Sevastopol, home of Russia's Black Sea Fleet, have been especially outspoken. Albina Gontovaya, member of a local pro-Russian group, fears NATO ships could someday replace those of Russia.
We've had it up to here with Ukraine. We simply cannot stand it anymore. They've treated us so badly. Let there be war. We can expect nothing good here.
Sevastopol, a city of more than 340,000, was founded in the late 18th century under Russian Empress Catherine the Great, a hero to many of the city's ethnic Russians, who constitute more than 70% of the local population. They oppose NATO's eastward expansion and share Russia's fear of encirclement by the alliance. Gennady Basov, a member of the Sevastopol City Council and head of the local Russian bloc, questions the need for NATO membership.
If
it's a defense alliance, then who are we defending against? If it's an aggressive bloc to send its troops to fight in Iraq, Afghanistan, or Pakistan, then that's another matter. And again, it makes no sense for the people of Ukraine to join the alliance.
In April, NATO rejected Ukraine's bid for a membership action plan, a program designed to prepare prospective members for the alliance. NATO requires each country to meet certain military and democratic standards and does not guarantee membership. Michel Duray, a Belgian national and NATO's representative in Ukraine, says the alliance has had an office in Kiev for 11 years to explain the standards and advantages of membership.
It's not only tanks against tanks, but also the environment. It's also social instability. It's also cybersecurity. There are many aspects included in the notion of security.
Moscow opposes NATO's eastward expansion. In February, then-Russian President Vladimir Putin threatened to target Russian nuclear missiles at Ukraine if NATO missiles were ever deployed there. The U.S. has been a strong supporter of NATO membership for Ukraine. U.S. Vice President Dick Cheney traveled to Kiev in September to underscore the point. There is strong resistance to NATO in the Ukrainian parliament. Ukrainian lawmaker Dmytro Tabachnik, who is often accused of being pro-Russian, favors Ukrainian membership in the European Union, but not in NATO.
They argue that NATO is an economic growth club, but everyone knows that some of the most developed, wealthy, and socially secure nations in Europe are those that do not belong to NATO: Austria, Switzerland, Finland, and Sweden. Economic advancement, establishment of rule of law, and social protections and civil society are not the same as membership in a military alliance.
In Sevastopol, Sergei Kolik of the independent Nomos Research Institute says Ukraine's size, geostrategic position, and economic potential will not allow the country to remain neutral.
Unfortunately, our politicians and leaders have declared a multi-vector policy, but it's difficult to sit on the fence. So either we join Europe or the single economic space and orient ourselves toward Russia.
Analysts say Russia will only push Ukraine over the NATO issue to the extent Ukrainians allow themselves to be pushed. Peter Fedinsky, VOA News, Sevastopol.